All right, guys, I'm back and left off with Dan Quisenberry. I don't know if he's related to Dan Dingleberry or whatever kind of berries, but he's part of my food name. So we go from Dan Quisenberry to probably the best player in the book. Probably had to be Darryl Strawberry. What can I say about Darryl? He was definitely an interesting ball player. He came up with the Mets in '83, and he dominated with them for a good 5 years. Unfortunately, some extracurricular activities outside of baseball got to him, and he never had the full career that we all thought he was going to have. But this guy just smoked when he was on the Mets on those 80s Mets teams, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. He was a sick, feared hitter, and always in the middle of things when the Mets were in fights and stuff. Darryl would be right in the middle of it. And I remember in I think it was '98 when he was on the Yankees, and the dude from the Orioles, I can't remember his name, was a relief pitcher. I have his vision in my head, but I can't remember his name. He drilled Tino Martinez in the back. And man, they had a big brawl, and Darryl was there just throwing haymakers to people. But yeah, Darryl Strawberry's got to be in the name with the food. I got one of his rookie cards right there, the '84 Fleer. Little Darryl. I remember the opposing teams would just, mock him. They go, Darryl, Darryl. That was the first time I kind of remember that from the first player they kind of did that to, Darryl Strawberry. And then we got Strawberry. More Strawberry, and more Strawberry. And I think that might be it for the food. The food names, because I see who's next, and you can see who's next. So, as I find more guys with food names, I will add them. I do have a list in the back here that I remember guys' names, and I'll have to start finding their cards and putting them in here. But that's it for the food names. So now we're just going to go to the funny names, or just cool names that guys have. And most of these guys I think people have heard of. We got Bucky Dent, or as a lot of people from Boston like to call him, Bucky Effin Dent. So he played for the White Sox, the Yankees, and the Rangers during his career. Decent player. He was the MVP in the 1978 World Series when the Yankees beat the Dodgers. So he had a couple of good years with the Yankees there. And some more Bucky Dent there. And then, geez, this guy had one of the hottest rookie cards back in '86. Wally Joyner. I always thought he had a very funny name. Solid ball player. When he came up with the Angels back in '85, '86, he was hot. He was hitting homers, and I remember that at Anaheim they had a little, I guess his section out there to call it Wally's World. The whole thing with National Lampoon's Vacation, even though the movie came out a couple years before he came to the bigs. But he was just kind of like one of those well-loved players. Kind of faded out as his career went on, but you gotta love Wally Joyner. There's some more Wally Joyner. And some more Wally Joyner. And then some more Wally Joyner. Wow, I had more Wally Joyner than I thought I had. I look through these binders all the time, and sometimes I forget what I have in here. And then next, you gotta have a Sparky Lyle, man. You got a Bucky and a Wally and a Sparky. Sparky Lyle. Red Sox probably kicking themselves for ever trading him to the Yankees, because once he went to the Yankees, they started winning. He was their closer from 73 till about 78-ish, and I think they got Goose Gossage, and then Sparky went on to the Rangers. But this guy, he was great. He was a great closer for the Yankees. But yes, he started off as a Red Sox, and that's his 1969 Topps rookie card right there. I think I'm only missing his 70 Topps card, and I think I have all of his cards otherwise. I'm missing the 79 tops, which would go right there. But, yep, Sparky Lyle even pitched for the Phillies. The old handlebar mustache. You got to love that. Big old bushy mustache. And then, after Sparky, I've got a Tug McGraw, another legendary Philly. Was on the Mets when they won the World Series in '69, and was on the Phillies when they won the World Series in 1980, and is the father of famed country singer Tim McGraw. Unfortunately, Tugger passed away a few years ago from a brain tumor. Just a fun guy, and I'll always have the vision embedded in my mind of him jumping up after getting the last out in the 1980 World Series, giving the Phillies their first World Championship. I was living in Philly that year, outside of Philly in that year, so it was definitely a big part of my life. And I think I might have that card in here. But Tug McGraw, man, he was their closer, and just a cool dude. He was just a cool dude. Yeah, there it is. I remember that right there. I remember that. Like, I don't even have to see that card. I have that ingrained in my head. I always thought those were cool from the 83 tops, the super veteran cards. Those are nice. And then Rick Monday. I just always like that guy's name too. He's named after a day of the week, and you know, even though it's probably the most dreaded day of the week, it's still kind of cool. And I also like Rick Monday because he was definitely involved in a pretty interesting happenstance. It happened during a game live on the field. I believe it was in 1976, and the Cubs at the time, he was on the Cubs. They were playing the Dodgers out in L.A., and two fans had gotten on the field, and they were trying to burn the American flag right on the field. And Rick Monday came in from his position in right field. He ran toward him. He grabbed the flag, and he ran the flag into the infield, and that was a pretty cool thing. And I believe that was one of the biggest reasons the Dodgers may have gotten him the following year, because he was a Dodger in '77. So he was well respected for doing that. So Rick Monday, he was a pretty solid baseball player. This guy started off at the A's in the, I believe it was the A's in the 60s. Yep, 66 I think was his first season. And then played for the Cubs and the Dodgers. So Rick Monday. And then pinch hitter extraordinaire, Rusty Staub. Guy was a Met a couple of times. He was an original Colt 45, who then became the Astros. In Montreal, when he was on the Expos, they called him Le Grand Orange because he was a big dude with orange hair. Just a good hitter. This guy was a good hitter, great pinch hitter. I think he held the record for pinch hits in a career. Not sure if he still does or not. I don't think he does, but he did for a while. But Rusty Staub, and then another guy, just think he has a great name, Franklin Stubbs. God love Franklin Stubbs. He played for the Dodgers, the Astros, and the Brewers in his career. Didn't really have really anything memorable. Okay player, but just a great name. Franklin Stubbs. Here's some more Franklin Stubbs. And some more Franklin Stubbs. Got a lot of Franklin Stubbs. And then how do you not finish it up with Mookie Wilson? The Mets had a Rusty and a Mookie. Mookie Wilson probably involved in one of the most famous World Series plays in the history of the game, because it was his ground ball that went through Bill Buckner's legs, or should I say that Bill Buckner booted, giving the Mets that win in the Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. Because pretty much the Red Sox had the series, but right after that, that was it, man. They let the Mets right back in, and then they came back in Game 7 and took the series from the Red Sox. So Mookie Wilson probably will always be beloved in New York. He's just definitely a solid ball player. He played for the Mets and the Blue Jays, and he was a really good player, like Mookie Wilson. Mookie. And some more Mookie here. And then more Mookie there. Now we get into the dirty names. names or the naughty names or what have you. So I don't know. This is you guys think whatever you think. It's pretty funny. I don't have everybody, but there's a couple of the guys. One in particular I don't have that I need to get. But I started with Boof Boneser. Yeah, that guy had a pretty interesting name. So yeah, what can I say about that? And then of course Rusty Kuntz. But as kids, it was never Rusty Kuntz. It was never Rusty Kuntz. Even to this day, it's not Rusty Kuntz. It's Rusty something else. I'm not sure if kids are watching this, but you get the idea. And then you got to have a Dick Pole in here because that's just too funny. That's really funny. Dick Pole. And then how do you not have Bobby Cox? The guy's in the Hall of Fame as a manager. But Bobby Cox. Yep. And then probably my favorite is Pete LaCock. Pete LaCock. What more could I say to that one? He's also known for being the son of Peter Marshall, the guy who used to host the the Hollywood Squares TV game show. So this is Peter Marshall's son, and he was just kind of like a bench player for the Cubs and the Royals for about 7 or 8 years. Didn't do much, but dude, he's got the freaking classicest name ever. And then we got some Woody Fryman and Wilbur Wood. Again, what more can I say about it? Actually, Wilbur Wood's a decent pitcher. He had some pretty weird seasons. He lost 20 games twice in 73 and 75. He lost 20 games. He was actually in 73 with the White Sox. He was 24 and 20. That's pretty crazy. And then in 75, he was 16 and 20. He won 20 games 4 times in his career. 24 games twice. So he wasn't a slouch on the mound. Probably had a lot of bad luck. But that's it for the names, guys. And then here's some more food guys, an honorable mention. I got Johnny Grubb, Coot Veal, Bob Veal, and Mike O'Berry. Got to find some cards of those guys. I probably have some of them. I don't think I have a Coot Veal, but I think I have some of the other guys. And then the other one next to Pete LaCock, naughty names, is Johnny Dickshot. Got to find a Johnny Dickshot card. Probably in the common collection. There's probably one or two. So I will be getting that for the binder someday soon. But I just want to appreciate everybody's viewing. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Let me know what you think. I'm going to check off now and catch you guys later. And like I always say, may the cardboard God shine down upon us all. Peace out. Give you a high five, guys. I'll see you later.